Ciao ragazzi, hi guys, welcome to a new Italian 101 video. Today's topic is plurale dei nomi, the plural form of nouns. So I would like to begin by reminding you of what nouns are. Nouns are those words that we use to name the things that exist in the world. Things, living beings, places, ideas. To all of these we refer with nouns. Some examples: professor, or cat, or college, or book, or even intelligence and hope. All of these are nouns. Moreover, all of these nouns are in the singular form. So what do I mean by singular form? It's quite simple. They're referring to one thing of the ones that they name, right? Professor refers to one professor. Cat refers to one cat. College refers to one college. And so on and so forth, right? Now, not all nouns have a plural form, but most of them do. Okay, what do I mean by plural form? Let's look at some examples. Professors, cats, colleges, books, hopes. So if the singular form of a noun is the one that refers to one thing, the plural form is the one that refers to more than one thing. Okay? And as you can see from these examples, there is a rule for constructing the plural forms of nouns in English, and it's quite simple. You just add an S, right? The singular professor, the plural professors. The singular cat, the plural cats. And so on and so forth. By simply adding an S to the ending of a noun, you're communicating that you're referring to more than one of those things, right? Now, moving on to Italian, the rules are a little bit more complex, but they are very similar in one important way. Because in Italian, you also make changes to the ending of a noun in order to communicate that it is the plural, okay? So, when you learn vocab in Italian, you always have the singular forms of nouns. Think of the vocab list we studied, right? We had professore, that means one male professor. We had studente, that means one male student. Finestra, one window, right? All of these are the singular forms. So today we're going to learn the rules for constructing plurals in Italian. La costruzione del plurale, scusate, in italiano. Okay? And it has to do with the ending of the singular form. Depending on the ending of the singular form in Italian, we have a rule for constructing its plural. It goes like this. If the singular of the noun ends in O, that O changes to an I in the plural. If the singular ends in A, it changes to an E in the plural. If it ends in an E, it changes to an I in the plural. And if the word ends in an accented vowel, what do I mean by accented vowel? One of these vowels, a, e, I, o, u, but with a little accent, with that little line on top. If it ends in an accented vowel, there is no change. So even if it ends in an A, If it's accented, there's no change, okay? And lastly, if the word ends in a consonant, there is no change. By no change, I mean that the plural and the singular form are the same. But I know that when rules are abstract like this, it seems difficult to apply them. So let's actually look at some examples. Let's start with a word that ends in O, libro, that means book, right? What the rule tells us is that that O changes to an I in the plural. So the plural of libro is libri. Libro means book. Libri means books. Notice that we're using our vowels here a lot, right? That is why it is so important that we remember the correct pronunciation of vowels. It's not libro, it's libro. It's not libri, it's libri, right? Libro is one book. Libri is books, more than one book, okay? And that's the rule. O goes to an I. How about words that end in A? Well, the rule tells me that that A changes to an E in the plural. Porta, porte. Porta is one door. Porte is doors, several doors. With words that end in E, like studente, the rule is that the E changes to an I. So studente, student, studenti, students. Now, words that end in accented vowels, we have seen one of these. It's not in our official vocab list, but we have seen it several times. Università, it means university, right? It has an accent. So the plural of università is the same, università. Since it ends with an A, you might be tempted to change it to an E and say something like université, right? That's actually not Italian, it's French, université, right? Università does not change because it ends in an accented vowel, okay? And then a word that ends in a consonant, we have learned one, computer, right? Computer does not change in the plural, okay? And that's it, those are the rules. So perhaps the easiest way to learn them is focusing on the three first ones, right? And say something like O goes to I, A goes to E, E goes to I. But then always remember that with accented vowels and words that end in consonants, there is no change. Okay? Now, let's try and apply these to some other examples. Let's build the plurals of a few words. So porta, that was actually one of the previous examples. Porta ends in A. What is the rule? The rule is A goes to E. So, or pronouncing them in Italian, A goes to E. So porta, porte. Okay. Prossima parola, finestra. A goes to I. Finestre. Prossima parola, professoressa. Same rule. A goes to E. Professoresse. What am I saying? Remember, porta means door, porte means doors, finestra means window, finestre means windows. Professoressa means female professor, professoresse means female professors. Right? I'm just changing the singular for the plural. Moving on, professore. Okay, this one changes, right? What is the rule here? It's not A goes to E, it's E goes to I. Professore, professori. Prossima parola, studentessa. We go back to an A ending, so A goes to E. Studentessa, studentesse. Prossima parola, studente. The rule is E goes to I, so studente, studenti. Aula, A goes to E, aule. Zaino, what's the rule for O? O goes to I. Zaino, zaini. Quaderno, again, O goes to I. Quaderno, quaderni. Lavagna, A goes to I. Lavagna, lavagne. Università, oh, attention, accent at the end. So università stays the same. Università. Prossima parola, matita. This one does not have an accent, so the rule is A goes to E. Matita, matite. Calculatrice. The rule is E goes to I. Calculatrici. And then computer ends in a consonant. What happens when we end with a consonant? No change. Computer. Okay? This is how you construct plurals in Italian. Grazie ragazzi. A presto.